February goals, let's talk about it. That little singing of February was for you, Cassidy. Here's some of the things I want to do in February. So last month, I was trying to work on maybe eating a raw fruit and vegetable every day. This month, I want to try harder. I did a pretty good job, and I found one thing that helps is to get smaller fruits and vegetables. So I would eat mandarin oranges or kiwis, stuff that were really easy where it's like, hey, I could eat this real quick. And it tastes so good, and it just reminds you, why don't I eat more of this? It's so delicious. And then another one of my goals is to eat more family dinners. And last month I was trying to do that in the background, and I want to try harder this month. So what I want to do is just see how many dinners we actually eat together. And like I've said before, our family schedule, not everyone can actually come, but I want to try harder with the people who are home to sit down and have a family dinner. And then another goal that I had last month that I didn't get to was to read a novel to my girls as they're going to sleep. My girls are teenagers. And one of my girls was in swim and her season just ended. So I'm really hoping that they're going to have some extra time. And I think it would be really fun to try it this month. A new goal I have for this month is I want to start a baby book for my youngest. My youngest is 6. And I don't know how you guys do baby books or if you do baby books for your kids, but she's definitely way past being a baby. And so I'm gonna need to figure out some kind of cutoff point, because what I did with all my other kids is the cutoff was when they were no longer the baby in the family. But I'm just gonna have to figure out a cutoff for her. And my goal is just to start the book. I think all of my other kids, I've made their books, and I just have never gotten around to doing hers. And so I'm really excited to at least get it started. And then I also had a goal this year that I wanted to read more nonfiction books. And I've actually been doing great. I've already read 2 nonfiction books in January. And so my goal for February is to start a new nonfiction book, maybe even finish it. And also another thing I like to do is I have found when my kids are doing their homework to try and avoid just being on my phone the whole time is if I get a parenting book and I put it on our coffee table, then I'm a lot more likely to pick that up rather than just sitting scrolling on my phone. One of my goals for this month is to go and get a new parenting book to put on our coffee table. I just finished Hunt, Gather, Parent. I really like that one. And I think the one I'm going to pick up at the library is maybe Simplicity Parenting. That was something that was on my books that I want to read this year. And then one of my goals last year was I wanted to be better at tracking my spending, and I started tracking my spending every day. And I've fallen out of the habit, but I find it really helpful. So that's another goal for this month, is I'd like to get better at tracking my spending every day. And lastly, I talked more about ministering sisters in my last goal video, but for church, I want to spend some time with some sisters in our church. I did not get to it last month, but one thing that I thought of was it was one of my friend's birthdays and we went out to dinner and it was really fun. And so I just thought, that's something I can do. I can do something social like that every month. And so this month I'm going to try and focus on one of those women who I am assigned to minister to and see if we can get together something like that. And then just to go over the goals that I had in January, one of my goals was to catch up on my family vlog, and I totally did that. I was several months behind, and I think something that helped was that we had several snow days this month. So I had a lot of time where we were sitting around not going anywhere. But that's what's so cool about having goals is because I had this whole list of things I wanted to accomplish this month, when I finally had nothing to do, I just could look at my list and be like, hey, here's something I can do, something I've been wanting to do for a long time. And so I totally got caught up on that, and I was really happy about that. Another thing I wanted to do was I wanted to write some posts on Substack. I had 2 post ideas and I wrote both of them. I'll be sure to include a link if you're curious and you like to read that kind of stuff. One's about my Christmas tree and one's about budgeting sort of thing. And then also I have a job in church where I'm supposed to be making a newsletter, and I'm not very good at it, but because we had all of this time stuck inside, I was able to get it done. So there's still several things I didn't get to, and a couple of them I added to my list for this month. And like I've talked about before, I think it's really important with goals that you don't come from a place of guilt. And so I really evaluate the things on my list where it's just like, is this something that I'm just putting on here because I feel guilty? Is it going to continue not getting done? I think a lot of times when that happens, you just need to reframe the goal. For instance, trying to meet with the people I'm assigned to minister to at church. I've decided to try and make that more like a dinner type situation like I did with my friend's birthday, where it's like, hey, that's something that's exciting that I was looking forward to, that I really enjoyed. And so if I reframe it in my mind, I'm less likely to feel this guilt and this burden every time I see it, like, oh, I'm not enough, I'm not doing enough. Another thing on my list that we didn't get to was I wanted to make New Year's resolutions with my kids and ask my kids what kinds of things we do as a family that they really enjoy. And we just could not make that happen this month. But I'm not worried about it. That's what's so exciting about making monthly goals, is that I have the whole year. I have so much time to keep trying and to try again. And so even though I didn't get to it in the little amount of time of January, we can still do it. We can still make goals. We can still talk about things that we want to do better. And I don't need to feel guilty that I didn't do it in January. Another thing that was one of my goals was I wanted to get into a better rhythm of posting on social media, Instagram, Facebook, and I feel like I've gotten a lot better. If you don't follow me over there on Instagram and Facebook, be sure to follow along. Some of it is repeats. I've been learning how to do shorts and how to make shorter videos. But also sometimes I will just take some of the ideas from these videos and turn them into written posts or different things like that to try and help make it so that people can connect with it if maybe they're not necessarily willing to go onto YouTube and watch the entire video. But anyway, those are some of my monthly goals. I would love to hear what you are working on this month. And I love sharing goals. I feel like it helps all of us become the best version of ourselves and help other people in return. Next, I'll be back with another video. I actually am going to hit 6 months of posting on YouTube, and so I've had a lot of thoughts on that I wanted to share with you guys. And be sure to be following along with my series where I've been trying to show more love to my family. I just put up the video where I have been trying to show love to my husband and the different things I was able to do around that. And it's just been a great month. I'm looking forward to the new month. There's a lot of good things ahead. So thanks for watching. I'll talk to you next time.